not by name. Once Yahusha defeated him, his influence began to weaken. So he began with a practice he used many times with the Greeks. It is a practice and a word that should be known by all, but it's not. And because of this, many people do not understand what happened during history with the pagans. That word and practice is syncretism. The Oxford Dictionary says syncretism is the amalgamation or attempted amalgamation of different religions, cultures, or schools of thought. Wow, you see how hard they made that? So, what is amalgamation? Amalgamation is the action, process, or result of combining or uniting. So, let's make this more simple. Syncretism is the action of combining or uniting different religions, cultures, or schools of thought. And this was something that the pagans did throughout ancient history. Please remember that word, syncretism. Syncretism was common during the Hellenistic period, and they spread their way and culture around the world. The Greek rulers regularly identified the local deities in the various parts of their domains they conquered, and they assimilated them with the relevant god or goddess of their Greek pantheon as a way of increasing the cohesion and connection of their kingdom. Basically, oh, you Egyptians, y'all worship Ra? Oh, we call him Zeus. Oh, you're Isis? Oh, we call her Artemis. Yeah, we all worship the same gods, just by different names, so don't worry too much about these minor differences. These gods know that you're speaking to them, regardless of the name that you call them by. You see, that is a pagan thought, and people still use it today with our Messiah's name. Basically, there are over 7,100 languages in this world, and therefore there are 7,100 names of the Hebrew Messiah. That is pagan thought, and that is how syncretism works. And it's used to bring unity of all cultures into one faith, and that was a major practice of that time. The Greeks did it during their conquering, and so did the Romans. And to note, they are doing the same thing today as they promote their interfaith one-world religions. Syncretism is a key understanding you must place in your knowledge of history if you're going to understand the faith with proper eyes of discernment. You could probably see and understand how this word got missing out of our daily vocabulary. Satan didn't want us all understanding that this was ever even practiced. And here's the thing, we know that this was a practice that the Greeks practiced because of the cult of Serapis. I spoke about this in part 7. Serapis was a blend of the Egyptian god Osiris and Apis with the Greek god Zeus to create a composite deity who would resonate with the multicultural society Ptolemy I envisioned from Egypt. You see, Ptolemy merged the Egyptian gods with the Greek gods to bring people together. Syncretism. It's what they did, which is exactly what they did with Isis. They are trying to combine their Greek god Zeus with the Hebrew Messiah, Yahusha. It's why when mentioning our Messiah, we focus on a Greek name instead of a Hebrew name when we know the Messiah was a Hebrew. They have no problem merging gods in order to bring continuity with the people. This is what syncretism does. So now that you understand this world and this practice, let's go back to Rome being divided, and then we get to Constantine.
Hi guys, my name is Amore, otherwise known as Redeemed by Yahusha. I'm coming today to speak on what Brother Ron had said about the name of Isis and how he's implying that you're calling on Isis whenever you refer to Jesus. Now, did he say that? No, he just said that's what the pagans were doing with Ra and Artemis and whatever other deities they had, and they applied that to Jesus. Now, is Jesus does Jesus derive from a pagan name? Yes, it does. But with that being said, do not forget your first love, the actual person who's sitting on the right hand of the Most High. And that's why I'm not coming to bash, because again, Brother Ron, you used to call Yahusha Yeshua, you used to call him Jesus. And does that mean he was never operating with you? Yahuwah knows who his people are and who's genuinely turning to him. So with that being said, do you think our brothers and sisters in the fields and that were, as you can see, had yokes of iron on their necks? Do you think if they repented in the name of Jesus that they won't see New Jerusalem? For generations, all we knew was the name of Jesus. Even when we knew he was black. Anytime a brother came over here, the slave master changed his name. Kunta Kinte was Toby. But with that being said, does that not mean Kunta Kinte did not respond to Toby? Does that not mean Toby didn't respond to Kunta Kinte? I'm just saying, either way, the more we come into the truth, the more we find these modern day Pharisees. And I'm not saying that you are condemning people, but I am saying that you should have the same grace as you did when you were learning. You taught Christianity yourself, which is nowhere in the Bible. In the actual translations, there's nowhere in the Bible, probably a King James version, but that's not even the 1611 King James version, as we know. But with that being said, people who are reading their scriptures, King James, no matter what version it is, and they believe what it's saying. I've had white people refer to Jesus as Jesus, but also told my husband, don't you know that the Messiah, Jesus, looked just like you? A dark-skinned black man with hairy, woolly hair, bushy eyebrows, dark skin. I'm just saying, do not, it's not even don't scatter the flock. It's more so of watch how you say things, because you also come from that. But the Father was working with you throughout all that time, just like he was working with me when I was casting out demons in the name of Jesus. That's not a pagan thought. That's how he operates. As long as you're calling upon him, he will answer. Now, I don't think he's going to answer by Satan. I don't believe that at all. But when you call on Jesus, you're thinking about the person who hung on that cross and then was put in that tomb, and then on the third day rose again, and then afterwards went to sit on the right hand of the Most High, Ahia Sher Ahia. But with that being said, because I call him Ahia, does that mean that Ahia does not work with you? It's not true. Here, brothers and sisters in the truth call Yeshua, Yahusha, Yahweh. They call him by many names. But does that mean they don't answer? When the slaves were in the field and they were praying to Jesus, did he still not answer? Did Moses, Harriet Tubman, not follow Jesus? Did she not pray to Jesus? Not the name Isis, but did she not pray to the son of Elohim? And with that being said, I understand not wanting to be called by your slave name anymore. I understand that. But with that being said, let's not try to seem like he doesn't answer to the name of Jesus. Now, in older videos, Ron did say that he's seen both work, the name of Jesus and Yeshua. And I know Yahusha definitely, because it's more accurate, because the Father's name is in it. But with that being said, not everyone has that information. And those who go strictly by the scriptures and just know based off of faith, like whenever we found out we were Israelites just based off of reading the Bible and we called on the name of Jesus, did he not lead us even further? I'm just saying, it's more so of the fact that people are trying to make new rules. Yes, by one name, we are to be saved. But with that being said, Ron, can you tell me what name that is? Is it Yahweh Shai? Is it Yahusha? I mean, there's plenty of Hebrews who debate over his name. So with that being said, how are we going to get mad on where we started from? Don't forget your first love. That's it. That's all.